Guys, I'm getting a little bit worried about this Fortnite X Disney mode or Disney universe, whatever you want to call it, that is supposedly going to be coming to Fortnite probably around next year. It's been over a year since we've actually had the initial announcement. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, in the background right here is the trailer for it that came out around early February of 2024. Basically, the gist of it is Disney invested like $1.5 billion into Epic Games. Disney content was supposed to be watchable in this mode inside of Fortnite. People will be able to create their own experiences with Disney IP stuff, and the Avatar collaboration at this point was confirmed as well, which that has already came out. Now, apparently exactly 1 year after the release or the announcement of the Disney collab, Fortnite moved the brand, or I guess the mode, into a stable build, which means that they are making headway on it overall. We've also had a lot of other Disney stuff that's been leaked, like Monsters Inc. / a University collab was leaked, which will probably be connected to that. Most of the stuff that really doesn't make sense to be put in Fortnite as a skin that involves Disney is probably going to be a part of this mode. But one of the biggest things with this was that inside of this mode, you'll be able to buy digital and physical goods. You'll be able to create Disney X Fortnite games, and it's supposedly going to be an entire entertainment universe in parallel with Fortnite and Disney. You're going to be able to do things in real life that will affect how you play the game inside of Fortnite, which is very, very interesting. And just recently, which what sparked this video and this conversation with me, is that it came out that Disney X Fortnite mode, this mode that you're seeing here, is supposedly going to have a storyline and cinematics. Now guys, based on the title of this video, you would probably think that I don't like collabs or that I don't like the metaverse stuff, which that is not the case whatsoever. I absolutely love that stuff, and I think it's really cool what they're doing with it. Obviously, right now, the metaverse is not in a good place because Fortnite keeps making these modes and then, like, virtually abandoning them, not putting enough effort in them, and the very little effort that they do put into them, a lot of people say could be put into, you know, Battle Royale or fixing OG and the modes that people actually care about. But recently, I've had kind of a change of thought about the metaverse. Like, I really do like the concept of people being able to make whatever they want. You know what I mean? Just like kind of how Roblox is, just Roblox without, you know, it being all blocky and stuff. Being a little bit more like diverse, I guess, a little bit cooler. I think it would be inside of Fortnite than what it would be in Roblox if we saw something like that. I think that stuff would be really cool, and I'm very much down for Fortnite players to be able to make whatever they want. But because Fortnite has constantly done stuff like this, where they hype up these different modes, you know, we've had Lego, we've had Festival, Rocket Racing especially, all of that stuff was hyped at the very beginning. Rocket Racing has been completely abandoned at this point, and Lego is not as much updated as it should be because it was very, very popular when it first came out. I will stand by it to this day. If Fortnite would have paid more attention to that from the beginning, it would be a very, very popular game right now. Overall, I feel like I don't like Fortnite creating modes like this because time and time again, Fortnite has done this where they release these new modes and they just kind of abandon them. It's really, really hype. It's very, very exciting. And then nothing happens with it. Of course, this is something that's kind of backed by Disney. You know, Disney has a lot of money in this. You know, $1.5 billion is going into this mode and into Fortnite overall, which is why we see all of these different like collaborations with them. They're willing to put more stuff in the item shop. We're probably going to have just about every Disney character you can think of eventually is going to be in Fortnite one way or another. And yes, that is very exciting, but I had a bit of a revelation, especially after the video I made yesterday. A revelation, I know in the Fortnite sense sounds really goofy, but you know what I mean. I'm really tired of Fortnite trying to act like it's not a shooter game, like it's not a Battle Royale PvP game. And this is in light of conversations about bots. You know, my What's Wrong with Fortnite Right Now video came out yesterday. You guys loved that. Thanks for the support. And in that video, I talked a little bit about how Fortnite is kind of stemming away from what made Fortnite and why people actually log on to play the game. Like, I'm sorry, but maybe I'm just not the target audience anymore, and that could definitely be the case. You know, Fortnite has definitely moved on from everybody who started when I started. But when I think of Fortnite, I don't think of Fortnite as like an adventure game or, you know, like a building game, like in the sense of like, you know, like a Minecraft sort of like Lego game. I think of it as a shooter game. And I honestly was holding out hope that this Disney mode would be you just like playing, like fighting as characters from Disney. But that's the thing. A lot of the times Disney doesn't want their characters to hold guns. Like, you're not going to see, you know, Mickey holding a gun. You're not going to see him holding a scar. You're not going to see Wreck-It Ralph, you know, double pumping or anything like that. And that's just not the case. And that's something that that's something I'm really, really worried about. Not even just because it might be bad, but just because Fortnite might put all of this effort into this one thing, billions of dollars into this one thing, and they don't give people what they actually want to see. It falls flat on the ground and then all of this time where they've been working on it and have this designated team for it and everything, and they're working on integrating rewards that you can get in the park, could have been working on, you know, figuring out what to do with bots, you know, making these other modes that are actually about fighting a little bit better, you know, still trying to, you know, advance the battle royale genre like they have with Blitz and Reload, just focusing more on things that actually matter, you know, fixing OG and making it more accurate like people want it to be. Those are the things that I think Fortnite is kind of putting on the back burner when they should be front and center. I've never understood why Fortnite, I understand that they constantly want to evolve and they want to be pushing things forward, but it feels like especially recently they constantly are more focused on pushing things forward than enhancing and nurturing the players and the game modes that people are actually playing. And that's what I think is really frustrating, and one of the reasons why a lot of people just don't have much interest. Like I said in my last video, there's a lot of hype without much of like a follow through, you know what I mean? There's not much reason to get excited because when a new mode comes out, it's just like, oh well, this is it's gonna launch, there's gonna be so much fun people playing it, and then after that there's really not gonna be that much attention given to it. But here's the thing, the one outlier for that I feel like is Reload and Blitz, and those are the two modes that are like based around shooting and based around fighting, you know what I mean? So like Blitz, we immediately had new content, they just extended it until like 2027, I believe. That announcement will probably come early in August when they announce that it's here to stay. Reload, we get a good amount of maps for that, we get updates for that pretty often, I would think, and then OG, of course, there's a lot of issues with it, but it seems like there's this weird like middle ground where they kind of focus on the parts that like, you know, are new. They focus on the things that are new, but they don't actually focus on what already exists. It seems like Battle Royale, like I said in my one video talking about is Battle Royale kind of being left behind? Are they abandoning like the regular Battle Royale? And this is why I think that, because when a new mode comes out, it gets like 100% attention, they're all over it. But when it comes to, you know, Battle Royale, they're constantly playing it safe. There's not much of a risk factor anymore. And I know I brought this up last time and people are going to say it's because of Wrecked. It's like, stop saying that. I get it. But Fortnite doesn't care about the few people that complain about Wrecked, because that, if you actually look at the player numbers, that season was very, very popular, and I will stand by that overall, and people love it now. But Fortnite needs to take more of those risks, not play so safe anymore, and I want them to focus more on the actual game itself and not on these other like side modes that are just supposed to be extra. And overall, getting back to the actual Disney mode, I'm worried that this isn't going to feel like Fortnite. Like, it's just going to feel like some random thing. It's going to be like a party royale mode, you know what I mean? Where you kind of just go in there, you walk around, it's like, oh, you can watch this movie over here in this theater, but you have to have a Disney Plus subscription, you know what I mean? It's like, it's just really weird. I'm not really sure exactly where it's going to go, and because of that, I'm very worried about it. I feel like it could just tarnish Fortnite's reputation even more, especially the metaverse reputation they have right now. Fortnite by itself, even if they never ever did the modes and stuff, would always be considered a metaverse just because the amount of collab skins they have in the game. Like everyone from John Wick to, you know, Fantastic Four coming out recently, use code PRO0YT in the shop for that, by the way, they would already be considered a metaverse, you know what I mean? So I don't know, I've kind of changed my stance on how I feel about all of these different modes. I wish Fortnite would focus a little bit more on the Battle Royale player versus player experience, and if they continue to move away from that, I'm not sure how I'm going to feel about this game overall. I'm not ready to quit or anything, but I think this is something to pay attention to. But let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. What do you feel about all of these new Disney stuff going on, the new Disney mode, all these new modes? How do you feel about them not really paying attention to PvP anymore? Let me know. Drop a like on today's video. You watched all the way to the end. You must have enjoyed, so drop a like. Subscribe to the channel. I make videos like these every single day. Use code PRO0YT, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace.